Today we'll launch a VNS3 MS management system and configure it to connect to other VNS3 controllers. We'll start in AWS in your EC2 panel. If you click on AMIs and sort by private images, you should have an AMI shared by Cohesive Networks. If you haven't already received it, then you need to share your AWS account information with Cohesive Network support, and they will share the latest AMI with you. And MS assumes that you have a cloud account that Cohesive can use to enable access to give you this VNS3 MS image. You need to have the ability to open the required hypervisor firewall rules to allow your MS instance to access VNS3 controller instances, and you need the ability to create and add cloud API credentials to your MS instance. Next, we'll go in and make sure that our security groups allow access to MS. So here's our VPC security group. Click Edit and add custom TCP rule 443. That should give us HTTPS access to the IP address where you'll be accessing it. So we'll use my IP. Click Save. Now back to your AMIs. Click Launch. You'll be directed through the wizard. And a few things I'll mention along the way. You'll need a minimum of 2 gigabits of memory, T2 small and larger. Make sure to launch it in your VPC. Choose a subnet if you want. Next, we'll add storage. You'll need at least 30 gigabits of storage, and you want to make sure that it's EBS backed, persistent storage if you're using a different cloud. We'll name it Demo. Select your existing security group that we just added 443 to. Click Continue. Click Launch. And proceed without a key pair and acknowledge that you will not be able to SSH into it. And View Instance. While your instance is initializing, you can go ahead and create an elastic IP address for it. Say allocate new, yes, allocate. Click on Actions, Associate. And select your new instance. And once your instance has initialized, go over here and grab the public DNS. Open up a new tab and type in https:// your DNS name. If you chose to use port 80 instead of 443, you would just use HTTP. Proceed through any warnings. And now to log in, the default login is admin. Alright, so we are logged in, and before we do anything else, you should change the VNS3 MS password and API key. Now we can begin setting up monitoring VNS3 controllers. We'll start by creating a virtual network. The virtual network is the primary classification unit for MS taxonomy. Virtual networks are comprised of VNS3 topologies and cloud Vlans. So we'll start by clicking New Virtual Network. We'll give our virtual network a name and description. Now your virtual network should appear in the main dashboard. Next, we'll create a VNS3 topology. Click New VNS3 Topology, and again, give it a name and description. And here's our topology under our network. Next, we'll add VNS3 controllers that are in this topology. So next, click New VNS3 Controller. So we'll connect to some existing licensed and running VNS3 controllers that we have. Here is a VNS3 3.5.1.14. It's So we'll grab the public IP address and enter it as demo A, the controller address, API key if you have a different key name. If not, the default is API. And then the secret key, add a description. Click automatically create topology records. This is for use in VNS3 peered topologies. If you do have peered VNS3 controller like this one, VNS3 MS will attempt to add all the peered controllers in that topology using the API key and secret key identified. This way you can speed up configuration time and add numerous VNS3 controllers to your topology setup at once. So we'll click Save. And here in Topology A, here's demo A that we entered, and then the peered VNS3 controller. And it shows that they are active and running. So just to show a non-peered controller, we'll click Add New. And next, you'll be able to see the Topology Setup page. Here are all three of our controllers. So if you click on a specific VNS3 controller, from that status page, we'll be able to see the system status overview, general information, the controller configurations, links to other controllers, client status, any IPsec tunnels that are set up. We don't have any IPsec tunnels connected, and then system status. Next, we'll set up and monitor a cloud VLAN. So from our virtual network page, if you haven't already created one, create a new virtual network. Next, from the admin page, we'll need to add cloud credentials. Click Add Cloud Creds. We'll name it Cred A. And select a credential type. Right now, EC2 is the only available one. Optionally, you can add your account ID. If not, it will be gathered from the VNS3 API. But you must add your access key and secret key. So from your AWS account, create a new access key. And copy the access key. Make sure not to add any spaces. Paste that in here. And next, copy the secret access key. If you are running in GovCloud, you can check this box. If not, leave it unchecked. Next, we'll create a cloud VLAN. In the VLAN section, click on Cloud VLAN, add New Cloud VLAN Component. Again, we'll enter a name and description, and from the drop-down you can add the user credential. And it is running in US East 1, and we'll select the VPC that we are currently using. Click Save, and again you'll get the information page, component status. You'll be able to see addresses, routes, and rules. Next, we'll go through VNS3 MS management tips. From VNS3 MS, you can access the VNS3 instance UI. So from your topology, you can click on one of the instance names, click on the button Administer, and it will open up a new tab and view the controller UI. Next, you can add VNS3 automatic snapshots from MS. With automatic snapshots, you can create a mechanism to programmatically create, download, and store snapshots of deployed VNS3 controllers. Currently, VNS3 only captures snapshots once a day and stores the previous 10 days in the local repository. To start the process, click on Configuration Snapshots submenu on either VNS3 Topology or VNS3 controller pages. On this page, we can click Create Snapshot. This will take the first snapshot and set up a daily process. Once your VNS3 snapshot has been created, it will be displayed here on this page, and you can either download or delete them as needed. From a VNS3 controller, you can click on Controller Passwords to view VNS3 controller details page. So you can change the API secret key, change the username, and update passwords. This is great for if someone in your network or even you have forgotten your UI password. Cohesive Networks never stores any passwords or usernames. So you can manage VNS3 controller firewalls, the next button over, Controller Firewall. MS provides the ability to view, edit, and create VNS3 controller instance firewall rules directly from the MS console. You can always check your system status by clicking on the Admin button at the top and click System Administration. Here the System Status tab will open first, and you can view instance specifics for each MS device. In addition to instance utilization information, we have counts for the number of virtual networks, topologies, controllers, and so on that you have monitored. The next tab is General Settings. You can set the maximum number of VNS3 snapshots to be stored per console instance, password lifetimes, two-factor authentication token lifetimes, HTTPS SSL certificates, and NTP hosts. The NTP default servers are included, but can be changed depending on the type of network access allowed to the MS instance. Also, MS uses a self-signed certificate for HTTPS authentication by default. While Cohesive Networks might argue this is more secure than a certificate from a third-party signing authority, any of your users can upload their own certificate to be used by your MS instance. So you can add users in the User tab. Currently we support two types of users, admin and read-only user. To add a user, simply click New User and fill out the form. Next, in administration, you can click on LDAP settings. It's simply a box that you can activate LDAP settings and set up your connection between VNS3 MS and an existing LDAP server to help you manage users and roles. Next, you can manage the backup settings. Backup lets you create and manage backup files for MS systems. Backups are very similar to the VNS3 snapshots. They contain all the runtime configuration for an MS system. From this backup page, you can create a backup file. You can download that file locally, upload a backup file, or restore the state of a VNS3 MS system from one of your backup files already created. Please note, if you decide to restore VNS3 MS state from a previous backup file, the system will reboot as it loads the backup and you will be logged out. We recommend to keep a current backup file for recovery purposes. Click Audit to see your usage of VNS3 MS. Cohesive Networks charges for the MS product using the controller month metric, which is monitored VNS3 controller instance per month. Once a month, you will send Cohesive Networks the audit file, and we'll use this to generate an invoice. Note that the audit file is signed an encrypted zip file with usage information only. It does not contain any password information or end customer data. Here are 3 controllers and usage events.